Thank you, Harsh, for bringing this beautiful platform of Hum Educare to all of us. And as I said, as I had spoken to Harish and said that many a times when I go to many of the women, mostly my meetings are with ladies around. And when we speak, they often say that the investment part of the house is taken care by the men. So I said, I want more women to be aware that they too can contribute to this investment journey along with their husbands and make it a nice journey together. Yes. And that's why when we talk about women empowerment, we all should contribute in the sense that all of us have a good thinking capacity. We can think given the right knowledge, and we can grow in this with these investments. Also, they quite often give us an opportunity to better ourselves.
Yes.
It's always very important to better yourself. I mean, all of us are good at something or the other, and we can always be better at whatever we are doing and also learn many more skills. And as we go forward, hello to each one of you all who have come here. Thank you for coming. Right at the beginning, I really appreciate for you for giving this time, and I'm sure it will be a very fruitful time for all of you. As we will go through this journey, I want each of you all to participate. It will become more interesting and more lively, and I think that's why then the session will be really good. So I'll start by first, of course, I said this is Hum Educare, which is going, and I will just put up a slide for you all. Okay. In life, we have to pass through many stages, and at every stage, we find ourselves that money is quite important, right? It is important to pass through all the stages. Let it be higher education, let it be marriage, having kids, when you have to buy the house, going further.
And ma'am, your screen is not visible. Just share the screen.
Okay, sorry. One second.
Or can I run the presentation? I have also.
Yes, please, Harish.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. You can start.
Okay. So as we go through life, we have all these particular stages which we have to cross and move ahead. And by the time we are settled down, our kids are settled, then we look out for our own hobbies. And mostly as ladies, I think this is what we always push behind. And might be men also do that, but I think ladies do it to a great extent because kids are always on their mind. Unka padai, unka khana. You always are seeing that your kids are comfortable. So it's only after all this happens that you search out for your hobbies and you try to enterprise into the things that you would like to do. And going ahead, you then retire, but I would say never retire, because we all have a very strong body that we should always be utilizing for something or the other. But in the journey of investments, yes, there comes a time when you would like to concentrate on something else than just money. So right from today or right from now, or might be many of us have already started out on this journey. And we'll go ahead to see how this journey, what do you see in your daily life? Where do you find your investments? Or where do you look out for investments? But one of the things that always happen is this factor called inflation, a big dinosaur that you can see on your screens. The great bag of money that you actually gather for yourself, you then realize that it has come down to a very small bag. Now, this is inflation. As Milton Friedman said, he's an American economist, and he says that inflation is taxation without legislation. So actually what it means is we do not have a control on this inflation, but with a good investment, we can use it as a tool to beat inflation. Investment is the best tool to beat inflation. So I'm sure all of you all are aware what inflation does. Our rupee that we have gathered today for a better tomorrow, it doesn't remain that rupee, because at 10 rupees I have gathered to buy something. Tomorrow when I go out into the market, the same item would cost me 11 or 12 rupees and I would fall short. So the best thing to fight this inflation is our investments, our good investments. Anybody has any questions here, please do ask. Feel free to ask. It's an open platform for all of us to learn. Okay.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, sure. Let's look at our daily routine. We come across so many things in our life, and we are right from the morning. You look at the toothpaste, or then the chai and coffee, and then all the other things that you use daily. Okay, and in everyday life, you will see these items time and again, time and again. Have you ever thought that these items are the ones that are running in the market today, which are gaining you great profits? They are the ones that are of everyday use, and believe me, they are very small. We just pick them up, use them, and throw the covers out, never ever bothering. But if you ever look at it, you would see that each of these items have a great amount of gold within them. So, and now I'm just a short question out here. When you look at Maggi, what do you see? Like, do you picturize a company behind Maggi or just Maggi? And if you picturize a company, you should mention to me what company you see there. Can I have it a little interactive? Anybody ready to answer this?
Shaman.
Yeah.
Hi, Veena here.
Hi.
Maggi is one of the most highly consumed items in quick desk, which is manufactured by Nestle.
Right.
So when I look at it, it really attracts me that the amount of money that Nestle would be making by just having economically priced ready to quick cook item, which is used by most of the bachelors, right from kids to bachelors to middle-aged people to even an elderly couple who want to have a quick snack or something. So
yes,
that's one thing.
You have very rightly put it that it is such a highly consumed product by everybody for a fast meal. And I think that's where we should look out. Things that move fast are the things that gain the momentum and are better to bring us the best results. Also, if you look through this, I think you will see some more products which are really nice, and which, if you really look behind the scene, other than just looking at Colgate or just looking at Rin, you would see a company behind that. A company growing leaps and bounds. I will take you to that. I'll show you how it is growing, and it's really interesting. There are a lot of the products that you have seen on the first chart, and here are the companies behind that, like Nestle as for Maggi, and you can see HUL, that is Rin, ITC, that could be your tea or even your oil products, and you have Asian Paints, you have Jockey, the very simple things out here, and of course DMart. All of us are sure going to DMart to get some stuff every day. And if you're looking at this chart, you will see that from Jan 2008 to May 2018, you just look at that number of times it has grown. Tremendous. Look at it. 1.37 times. If you look at HUL, 7.4. And come down to Asian Paints, 12.02 times. It has grown 12 times. So in our everyday products, we can find an investment avenue. I'll just give you a little time, look through this. And further, you can also see that from May 2018 to April 2018, there has been a growth, a real growth in them from say something around 70% to 92% too. There's been a real growth if you look at it. I'll just give you a few minutes, go through it so that you can see. I just explained to you the chart. I hope I'm clear. Jan to May 2018, you will see the number of times it has grown. And when you see from May 2018 to April 21, you will see the percentage of growth on your right-hand side to the last column. So if I say Jockey, it has grown 26% in these past 3 years. And similarly, you can go to DMart. It has grown around 92%. From 1420, it has become 2720. So just giving you that little time to look at it. The ones that you can see in the yellow are the motor companies. They have been doing well. You can see the number of times it has increased in 2018. It's just during this last year that they have not done so good. Otherwise, they have been also doing very well. So given this 2021, I think going ahead, they should be really running ahead, these companies. Harish, give them around 2-3 minutes, then we'll change.
Yeah. So just look at the Nestle's also. So it's in lockdown, people have eaten more Maggie than anything in last 10 years because you don't have the option of eating outside the food.
Yes, it has really grown. If you'll have any questions here, please do ask. If you have not been able to grasp what this chart is picturing out, you always can put your questions to me.
Shaman, I have one question.
Yes.
The chart looks good from Jan 8 to May 2018. The companies have done well. So
Right.
what's in for me in this?
If you are looking at, as an investor, if you had invested in Jan 8, 2008, you would have grown that many times as the company grew. Like if I had put in 1 rupee, I would be at 38 rupees in Bajaj Finserv. And if I had put 1 rupee in Asian Paint, I would be at 12 rupees today. So our small savings would have helped us grow, you know. I look at it as an investment opportunity. In our day-to-day products, there are lots of investment opportunities. And if we really see, when I go to DMart, I pick up my things and come out. Have I ever thought behind the scene that this is a thing that I should be investing in DMart? Now, there are many avenues of investments. Either you can go through the mutual funds, you can go through the stock market, or you can go to the debt instruments. Further on, I will explain that too. Veena, any more doubts?
Yeah, understood, Shaman. Basically, you're trying to say that I should have invested earlier, or even if I have not invested now, it could be a good opportunity to either get directly through equity or maybe through the mutual fund route, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because everybody might not be comfortable with the equity door. So you always have your mutual funds out there which are buying the stocks for you. Next screen.
DMart is a basket of all the FMCG. I think that's correct answer. You can say that. So shall we go ahead, ma'am?
Yes, next. Since 1993, in the markets, we have seen the main investors are the institutional investors. Why this has happened? Why is the institutional investor better off than an individual? Next slide, Harish. It's if we come to that, we just have a few points out here that I can list down and tell you why an institution is much better placed than an individual when it comes to investments. Should it come to capital investments, we see that an institution has a larger corpus to invest than an individual by himself. He would naturally have a lesser corpus to invest and a very small amount. And this is where the institution gains better. With a bigger corpus, they can take better risk. And that's why they are, and of course, they gather the funds from all around, and that's how the institution has a bigger corpus. Coming to risk management, an individual doesn't have that much skills to manage the risk. Like if I go to an institution, they have their analyst, they have their data, running data that they are always updating themselves, and they are able to understand what sort of risk they are going to face in the future as of today, and they plan this out. They plan. So the next point is the exit plan. So always when they get into anything, they always have plan A and plan B. Should plan A not work for them, they would be then moving into plan B. Whereas as an individual, I get into an investment, say I get into an investment, I put it there. Suppose things are not working, I become a little bit upset because I have not made a plan B as of then. I'm not ready with a plan B. So it will take me some time to get into plan B. But as an institution, I'm always ready with 2 plans to get into something else should one not work for me. Now coming to the fourth point that we have here is the company information. I as an individual have the information from what I read around or what I see. That's the information I gather. Or might be from my friends. That's how I gather information. When it comes to an institution, they have the direct contact with the companies because they put in a huge sum of money. They're the bigger investors and they have a direct contact with the companies. They really have their forums from where they get their information. So they are better placed than an individual at this level too, at the if you're looking at company information. Now coming to media reliability, that's the next point. And media reliability, as I would say, is if you ask me, I'm an individual, I would normally read the newspapers, some magazines, and of course, I would research a little on a particular stock as an individual. As a company, they rely less on such sort of things like a newspaper and anything else, but they have their own set of data that they collect. And it's not just for this year. They collect the data over a period of years and they build on that and they analyze that. The analyst is always ready for that. So that's where their media reliability is much less than compared to me, because I will mostly go on the media basis, that is a newspaper or a financial magazine or something on the net, I will research. They go much more in depth because of the sources available to them. And then as the last point out here, that's a research. Given at any time, I do get into a little bit of research and that's it. But in an institution, they are researching all the time. They're always researching for better investments. And before buying also, they really build up why we should be investing here. They have all their data ready. So they are much ahead in research than an individual. And that's why in this small this that we see that an individual is less prepared than an institution. And if should we have an institution to help us out in dealing with our day-to-day investments, we would be much better pleased because of the amount of information, the risk management, and also as I said, media reliability.
Yeah. Ma'am, I have the question, since you have been in the accountant, so before you are coming to the mutual fund distribution, so which are the things the company has information, which are the reports company publish, like you have seen regarding we heard the company's result, annual reports, so where company publish the reports. So
yes. So going on this, the company always projects its future into what it is going to invest, how it is going to bring about these investments. Also, the company gives you an insight about their research that they have been doing. So it's an in-depth report that the company puts out. But I think many of us never really go and read those reports as an individual.
Because we don't have the time.
We don't have the time. We always say we don't have the time, but I think make do we all have a little time to read.
Yeah, sure. So can we go to the ahead?
Yes, yes. Okay. So where should we invest? Always we are having this question in our mind. We want to invest. All of us do want to invest, and we are like thinking now, where should we put this money? So there you have a chart of the different asset classes, how they have performed. Okay, you have equity, and you have debt, cash, and gold. Four of them in which you can invest. If you look at this chart, you will see that equity has performed well with a 12.5% average return over the past 3 years, and this debt with 8.5 and cash 7.2 and gold 10% return. Right. Also, if you see every investment it has much lesser risk. So just go through the chart. If you have any queries, you can ask me. And if you see the positive observations in all these cases are beautiful. There's 84% in equity and 100% in debt and in cash. So equity is not very far behind. It has got a very good positive observation.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Okay, for a novice, these numbers look okay, but then still don't make entire sense to me.
Okay.
What is the best as per your, knowledge or experience? Because to me, debt and cash is looking like the best option.
Okay. When we get into any sort of investments, we first find out their returns. That's what attracts us towards them. But right, we always look out for their returns. But as we look out for their returns, we have to look also to their risk factors and our ability to manage that risk. Right.
Yes.
When I'm younger, I can take greater risk.
Right.
Because I have the time to build on my investments.
Correct.
Right. And as I grow older, it is not possible for me to say I can take the risk if my investments I have built over a period of time and I'm really strong.
Correct.
So here, when you look at equity 12.5 and debt 8.5, if my investments were really strong, I have built my investments at a younger age, I would naturally have the capability to get into equity even today.
Correct.
So I would always suggest the younger crowd look at equity as the best option. Your 80% of your savings should be in equity and the 20% into debt. Right now, I do not know who's asking me this question. Can you just mention your name?
My name's Mamta. I
Mamta.
would have logged in with my daughter's ID. Meera.
Okay, fine. Okay, Mamta, I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, ma'am. My husband has a question.
Okay.
Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, I would like to know a bit more about real estate. Like I can't see that in this chart. So like I was a little bit curious, like how did it perform over the past couple of years or so?
Real estate has performed well, except I think now it's on a downside because, but going ahead, we can yet look at real estate, though I have not put it out on this chart right now.
Yes.
That's why we are going to hold some more sessions, which you could join in. And see, this is always an interactive session. Should you have any query about anything like that, please post it to us and we will be answering.
Sure, ma'am.
And ma'am, for a novice again, equity and debt, what does it include as in layman terms?
Okay, when I look at equity, I look at stocks, I look at ETFs.
Okay.
Those are the exchange traded funds. And I would also look at the index funds. So see, now rather than I use these terms to you, you would really be wondering what is an index fund. I hope you have the knowledge of an index fund. If not, in our next session, we will portray these equity funds to you all, where you can basket it as equity.
Sure. Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, welcome. Harish, can we go to the next slide, please? In a short time, we have seen that the number of Demat accounts that were opened have risen astronomically in this past 1 year. I think this is out there in the newspapers every day of how the Demat accounts have just multiplied in this past 1 year. And you have the graph, the blue line portraying the number of accounts being opened up. So you will see that in the financial year 2021, during the lockdown, I think it's basically the time factor that people had the time and also the money in hand, and that really moved them to opening these. And also, that the number of people that have come across, I've seen many young people into this opening Demat accounts, and that's very, very nice for our Indian economy. Very nice. A beautiful thing to see. Next chart. Just now you had asked me the question about what do you see as equity. So here is the chart for you. We have as cash, we have the liquid funds. When I mean liquid funds, you have many of the mutual funds which run a liquid fund for you. Okay, and you have your savings account and also your hard cash. Okay, this is the thing that you want to use, the money that you want to use on an everyday basis. So you keep it out there where you can easily access it. The second asset, the second class is the commodity market. Should it be gold? Should it be oil? Should it be silver? Or even common commodities like wheat and all? You have the commodities market, the MCX. Next, you have the fixed income. The fixed income is a place where I give my money and I get a fixed return for it. It is all decided right at the beginning when I put my money that this is what. So you have your fixed deposits, you have your debentures with their returns, which is mentioned right at the beginning. You have the bonds and the post office products here. Going ahead in equity, just now we have just spoken about it. We have spoken about the index funds, the ETFs and the stocks. Also, there are startup fundings where you could utilize your money to invest into a startup. They have the knowledge and you have the money to help them grow. And then we come across the alternative investments. When we are done with investing everything and we want to go further into our hobbies, our passions, we have alternative investment. That is the antique goods and the art and anything else that draws value. So that's what we put into the alternative investments. So this is just a class of assets that we have drawn a chart for you. Any questions?
Shamin, here
Yeah.
it means that your commodity stocks or even your equities have done much better. The upward arrow is basically the growth in the asset class, isn't it?
Right, right. It shows you that these are the things that are
Return.
continuously growing.
Okay.
Like also, I spoke to you at the beginning about inflation, right?
Yeah.
So should I be holding my money in cash? I told you that the 10 rupees, tomorrow I would need 12 rupees to buy. So should I have invested in commodities, equities? I would have a better
Return.
flow of cash at the
Okay.
end. Any more
Thanks.
questions, please? Harish, next.
Yeah.
So we can say that if we had rightly used our assets, make the right choice of our assets and balance out our investments, How do we do this? With a good knowledge. When we have the good knowledge, we can then go ahead to balance out our investments. I'll just give you a short time to look through this particular slide because it speaks about two people, Ashok and Kishore. So here we see, if you can, if I can read out what I see over here, anyone wants to contribute? You can see that Ashok, what was his investment age? Where was he investing?
25.
25 years.
From 25 years to 35 years. You can see that orange line out there, 25
Yeah.
to 35 years. And he was putting in a monthly investment of 15,000.
Right.
Beautiful investment, 15,000. And then I go down to Kishore. He has invested from, anyone would, right? Yeah. Okay, he has invested from the age of 35 to 60, a long period of investment, right? That would be around 25 years of investment. And Ashok has 10 years of investment. Now, when we see at Ashok, he has invested 18 lakhs. And let's just look at his retirement corpus. He has a 6.9 crore retirement corpus. And when we come to Kishore, he has invested 45 lakhs in the 25 years. And his corpus is 2.84. So making a decision out here, if I see who is better off, Kishore or Ashok? There is
Ashok.
turn on your mic and speak. Hello?
Ashok. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ashok.
Ashok. We see that Ashok is much better off than Kishore, who started later in life. Both invested 15,000 a month. Ashok's period of investment is only 10 years and he's got a corpus of 6.9. So
Yes.
for all my young participants today, it's really great that today many of you all are independent, funding your own education in the sense that you have taken the time to earn a little bit of money and help your parents in the funding. So this is the time I would say, if you are earning and you are falling in this, I know of somebody who at the age of 21 started on a job, finished the graduation, immediately got into a job. And with a small investment of 2,000, 3,000,
Shaman, you've frozen. The screen is frozen.
No, screen is not frozen.
Yeah, I think there's an internet issue. Shaman, right?
Yeah, yeah. There is an internet issue. Just a second. Hello. Hello. Yes, ma'am. Ji, ma'am. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm just, yeah.
sorry for that. I think it was some network issue. Okay, so this particular client of mine started off with a small amount of money, 2,000, 1,000, and today 1 lakh of rupees. So she was basically sipping into mutual funds with a monthly income, and beautiful. I mean, I was really touched by her at 21. At the very first job, she had decided to make her savings. And similarly, there are other friends who I come across, people who I come across. There's this uncle, my friend's father, who at the age of 78 has grown a good corpus. a real good corpus. He maintains himself. He's not dependent on anybody. He maintains all his expenses with the money that he has invested in his younger days. And really speaking, should we on a daily basis plan our investments, our good investments? I think that really grows in the long run. This is an example for you, Ashok and Kishore, how money grows.
How money grow also, and how we can start as early as, just like you have shown, okay, at the age of 21.
Yes.
So that also a woman which started at the age of 21.
Yes, it
I
was a
think.
young girl, very inspiring.
Yeah. So that's very encouraging to you.
And I also think that if you have somebody to give you the right direction of investment, you're always at a better standing. And I think all of you would agree to this. Because many a times we are doubtful about abhi ye paisa kidhar dalna hai, kidhar dalna hai. Though we know we have to invest, we don't know where's the right avenue of investment. And at what age where I should be putting my money. Yes, Harish, next slide. So that's what we come to. Why should we invest? There are only two ways that we can make money, right? We have, I think, if you ask me, I have seen that many people work hard, really work hard, because they want to have a good life. Okay, they want to have a real good life. That's why they work hard and they earn that money. But many a times in this process of working hard, we forget that this money needs to be invested somewhere. I need to make another source of income other than only my salary. So working is one, and having your assets work for you. That's also very important in life. Because we all do work hard. We all go out there and slog it out for 12 hours sometimes, through the traffic, through everything. So we are all working at every point of time. But making this hard-earned money work for you is another thing. And that comes to good investments. Next slide. I just put out a question here. How many of you all know Robert Kiyosaki? Have you heard of the name Robert Kiyosaki?
No, Shaman.
No.
Okay. Have you heard of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Yes,
That's
he-
written by him.
Yes.
Right. Very inspiring book, very nice. And for those who have not read it, please go ahead and read it. It's it is so well put in that book, you know. He has he portrays himself as a small boy of 10 years and how he grew in his finances, how he learned. So he calls his own dad a poor dad and his friend's dad a rich dad. So you should read this book. Very nice. And I would recommend to every youngster. I even tell my kids read the book, but then they are too small right now. Though they read books, they think this is a financial book. It is, but then depth of knowledge. He really speaks about his journey as a child. You know, he always wanted to get money and how he made. So please do read Robert Kiyosaki. He's now made his own educational institute for investments, and really great. Now, now Robert Kiyosaki is the one who has made this 4 cash flow quadrant of life. Okay, when it comes to that, we have the ESBI. E is our first quadrant. That's the employee. Well, an employee, always his motive in life is that I will climb up the corporate ladder, get up there, and I will be comfortable. Okay, that's what he thinks. And also his insurance, his other expenses are quite often taken care by the company. Second, we come to this self-employed person. That's the second quadrant he talks. Here you think any entrepreneur has a belief that he can make money by using his skills. So he is somebody who has the skills and is utilizing his skills to make money. That's our second person, a self-employed person. Then we have the big businessman. That's why if you look in this picture, you can see the employee in a t-shirt and the self-employed in jeans, and now the coat factor. That's the businessman, right? So a businessman is of the opinion this, that I have the money which I can utilize, and I have the people which I can utilize who can be smarter than me. but I can run the show, and that's where I will place my money. That's a businessman. And the fourth one is the investor. The investor is a person who has the money and makes the money work for him. If I look at it, we are all investors. And if we can put that money into investment, we can surely make the investment or that asset work for us. If you look at it, most of us will be in the first quadrant, either employed or self-employed. That's the basic place we take as an employee or self-employed. When it comes to moving out to the business or the investor, we are a little bit reluctant because business means risk. And so out here, this is I'll just take a few more minutes in this explanation because it's really lovely. He says that the businessman, he uses other people's time, that's the OPT, and other people's money, OPM, to run his business. He uses other people's time and other people's money to run his business. And he makes this work for him. And the investor, he uses his own money and at times other people's money to work for him. So this is just a crux of his. He's a person with in-depth knowledge, Robert Kiyosaki. Beautifully, he explains these concepts. And when it comes to an employee and self-employed, they are both working very hard. But what happens is, as I climb up the corporate ladder, I reach a place where I'm so bogged down with work, I have no time to enjoy what I earn. And when it comes to the self-employed, he's also all the time working, and he's taking on responsibilities onto himself. He's not able to delegate the responsibilities. That's where he then falls short of the time to enjoy what he has done. This is just a gist of it. Anybody with any sort of queries regarding what I have said?
Shaman,
Yes.
I have friends who are also housewives. Okay.
Right.
Now, though I do understand investing at an early age, which myself I have witnessed, gives you phenomenal good returns over a period of time in instruments like equity, mutual funds, equity-driven instruments. Okay, where the appetite to take risk is high. Now, today, if I'm middle-aged women, I have friends, like I said, who have, who work, for whatever personal reasons, since we're talking about a women empowerment, who have today taken over the responsibility of running their house solely, sacrificing their jobs. But maybe they want to build up some kind of corpus for themselves. So when in your sessions, like, out of my whatever, I take care of my household expenses, I might be saving some amount, which eventually I may be, spending it off.
Yes.
Veena, or getting a gift.
You have put it very rightly. You put it so rightly that many women at home think that they don't have the money to invest. But believe me,
so if you can guide how we can go about, how they can go about in terms of investing and creating a corpus for themselves also through mutual fund or through an equity route.
Yes. So if I would say, I have a few clients. 1 year back, they were not investing. They were middle-aged, 40 plus, and not at all into any sort of investments. And when I approached them, they were like, no, mera husband dekh leta hai, and all that. So as an mutual fund advisor, I just held a small session with them. I just spoke to them about it. I said, see, I know you don't understand what mutual funds are, but I'm here to help you out. So I will just give you a gist of what a mutual fund is, how it will work for you. So after I spoke to them, they had, will it give a fixed return? I mean, they were so used to that FD thing of it, kitna return milega? These were the typical questions they asked. So I also realized that they are not aware how a mutual fund works. So I had a good session. And believe me, these few ladies put in their money, 3,000 rupees a month. And I'm sure it's from that, cheating of the husband. Slowly, they pulled in the money, and also their own hard-earned savings, I would call it, because you sacrifice something when you save a rupee. You're sacrificing something. You're sacrificing might be going out for a party on one Saturday. So that's how they put it, only 3,000 rupees. Today, they also have a good corpus. They have a corpus of around, I'll say in a year's 1.5 year time, they have a corpus of about 75,000. And I would say not bad. Looking 10 years from now, they would be well placed. With their small, meager savings of 3,000, 2,000, whatever it is. So it's never,
Correct.
never too late to get into it. We beat mutual funds. That is when you don't have the complete knowledge of everything. And also stocks. If you have somebody who is able to explain to you and to convince you that this is a good stock. And as I showed you in your daily products, there are lots of stocks you can invest in. And I would say start small, but start. It's very important to start. And
Correct.
and one of my clients did come back to me and say, Shaman, I'm so thankful to you. You spoke about it and I believed in you and I started investing. My mother is also happy that I have started investing. She's now 43 years, the lady who I'm speaking about. And her mother is happy that all this time my daughter used to just spend off whatever money she used to spend off. So today she's saving. So it's a great matter of pride for every woman who has not saved till today to get into it.
Thanks, Shaman.
Yeah, welcome. We'll get on to the next one. As I've just spoken, like I spoke to you about that lady at 43 starting her investments and never invested in life, never. She always said that I never have invested. Now, what I think out here was the problem was we, many of us, I'm not saying all of us, but some of us have good knowledge about investment. Many of us don't have that knowledge. We just know about FDs, post office deposits, and might be debentures because we have studied them in the commerce class sometime, 13% debentures. So all these things. So what we really require for attaining the financial freedom is we need to have the knowledge of the investments. And that is what Hum Educare will be giving it to you on these lively sessions that they'll conduct. You should have the knowledge of a good investment. And Harish, I think, is out here to help you all out in these good investments. And once I've decided to invest, also I should make a regular habit of it. Investment should become a habit, just like brushing your teeth, okay, or enjoying yourself once a month. You should make it a regular investment. That's why we say SIP. You can SIP into many sort of products. Okay, SIP is used in the terms of mutual fund, but there are lots of other products which you can SIP into. And as of now, I think the gold is something you should all be looking at. It is a real good investment opportunity. If the prices have come down, they've come quite down. Now they are again rising back up. And the last thing, once I've decided, I have the knowledge, I am putting my money there, I need to water that. What it means by watering, if any of you all are growing plants, you will realize you see that sapling growing and sometimes it takes some time to grow and you are like, Bapre, how much time it's taking? Sometimes it catches a fungus, then you are like, oh no, now it's going to die. But keeping ourselves patient is very important in our financial journey. Very, very important. Patience really grows. Like I spoke to you about that young girl who at the age of 21 started to invest. Many a times she'll come, Auntie, can I take out that money? I said, no, not now. I know that money is very exciting because she suddenly saw 20,000 there. And Auntie, can I take out that money? I said, no, not yet. Give it some time. When you give money time to grow, it grows beautifully. It really grows beautifully. So that's the key to find. Yeah. Anybody with questions?
Mamta, I spoke with you earlier on.
Right, Mamta.
The gold bit that you are talking about, does it make sense to buy jewelry as such or?
Okay, Mamta, I have my own opinion about gold. I don't know, but then this is what I think, I have my jewelry that I got at my marriage and maybe along the journey of life, I did pick up some sort. But what I see is gold lies in the shelf at all times. Right. And there's no utility of it. So why? And also the fear that it's going to be robbed. एक झुमका गिर जाएगा उसका जो पीछे का screw है वो right? So this is my opinion that I would rather invest in gold as a paper. Like, you know,
Okay, like
so
bonds.
that
and-
sort of investment. Then buy it out and keep it in the shelf.
Right. But over time, like say for example, even if you're buying jewelry, I'm not a big jewelry lover anyway. So it just lies in one, in one place. It's not being used. So there is no wear and tear as such. So then,
Yeah, of course, it has its value. But do you know when you buy jewelry, there are making charges
right.
which you are
Right.
paying for, and also
Yeah.
afterwards, if you want to sell it,
Yeah.
you won't get the true value of it, right? They will
Okay.
say it's a percent copper hai isme or something or the other, and the value is not really the true value. Whereas today I'm investing 2 rupees in gold, very simple, 10 rupees in gold. Tomorrow
Right.
when I go, I get the market price for that gold.
Uh-huh.
So that's where I see that, just like you, I also have no fancies of holding gold in the form of earrings and
Right,
bracelets
right.
and all that.
Right.
So that's my personal, and I think that's where we are having this gold bonds coming out.
Right.
I think quite frequently they are there. They were there during Diwali, and
Uh-huh.
after that they're always there in the market. So
Right.
you can always invest in them.
And gold mutual fund also is there, so you
Yeah.
can
Yeah, I
participate.
Yeah, I was going to ask that only. So you all have gold mutual funds as well, no?
Yeah,
Right.
So in
which,
case. Yeah.
and one more
Okay.
thing, the making charges, the Titan and Kalyan Jewelers
Yeah, it's
charge is
exorbitant.
25%.
It's
25%.
exorbitant, if I agree
Yeah.
with. It's exorbitant if you're looking at a good gold manufacturer like a Titan, rightly said by Harish, we pay the price in terms of making charges. So
Right.
that is a big whole dent in our investment there as well. So this option I'd heard about, Shaman, gold mutual
Yes.
funds. So which gives you a decent amount of return and which are safe also.
Yeah, they are really safe because they are on the gold market, which when it's good, it's really good. And I think we had seen this during the lockdown. Gold was really playing a good game. It was really up. So gold is always a investment if you're looking for a long term, very good investment to have. And you have it in your mutual funds too.
Yeah. So here I would want to know, this question is to Harish also. Over a period of time, gold has averaged what kind of return, Harish? If like one of my relatives also would ask for gold mutual funds. So
Yeah,
if they're keen in investing through you, what is the rate of interest that we can look at?
I think somewhere around
Yeah, we have
32.6.
shown, just a second. We have just a second. I have shared with you. So this is a average gold return you can see since last 30 years is at 10.2%. So one, the equity has outperformed in last 30 years, and other is a gold.
Okay, so gold
So
had
gold is
maintained
a-
a 10% return, which is good.
Yes. So this is a 30-year story. It's not that in a
So
3 year.
it is better than our FDs as of today.
Yeah, it is. It's clearly show it's better than the FD and cash.
Right.
And women love the gold, so they don't buy the jewelry, but they can start investing through the mutual
Absolutely.
fund. Yeah, because jewelry will take you a 25% making charges.
Yeah, that's true. This is a good way to invest. Thanks, Shaman. Thanks, Harish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes,
this is
sir.
what. Yeah, this is here we come to play, and our objective is to education. So with the education only, many a times we understand the things which are simple to us, but we have not read it in properly, and we have not used it
Out
practically.
here, I would say there are many financial terms which the common man does not really grasp because he has never come across them. So I think Hum Educare would simplify these financial jargon, make it very basic to you as you understand them. So that's a real nice thing. Yes, Harish.
Yeah. So that's it. Thank you, Shamin ma'am, to explain to a lot of women ideas, and you have shown your enthusiasm, and I'm sure many of the women who have not started So they will think from today onwards at
Yes,
least.
as I said, it's never too late.
Yeah,
There are always opportunities. If we are late, no problem. But there are those opportunities out there which we should be harnessing. Each of us should get into it.
and I have the two question regarding. So, what is a one thing which you share with the other women when you meet now?
Yes. Um, just like today's, we had this whole discussion on basics of investment. Whenever I meet women, see, the class of women I meet is the housewives, because that's where
Yeah,
I
that
move
is
around.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, actually, Mr. Robert has asked the ETF regarding that. So you want international gold ETF or you want something else?
The normal equity, international equity.
Yeah, normal equity, we have the nowadays the option of investing in the multi-assets funds, which has some part of the investment in the international also. And we ETF, we have only the Nasdaq ETF, which are running by the Edelweiss and the Motilal Oswal, which invest in the Nasdaqs only. So technology companies. So it is related to the only specific sector. And the Motilal Oswal has a S&P ETF, which invest in S&P 500.
How safe it is to invest in those funds? Like
They basically ETF is a ETF invest whatever the index companies are available. Okay, so if you see, okay, every time you have seen many company has changed in last 30 years. Okay, so ETF will change all these things component of the company because they invest in company which are available in the index, and they are very cost effective also, and they invest whatever the index weightage are available in there. Only if you have knowledge and if you have the risk appetite, then we can suggest you invest in international ETF. Okay, first you check with your asset allocation. What is your asset allocation pattern of your investings? Because what happened many a times we make the mistakes not having the asset allocation part right. So once you are clear on your asset allocation partner, then it will be easy. And if you want more information, then we can touch with you on a personal basis.
thank you, Harish.
Yeah. I'll write down my number so you can connect with me if you need a more information. So this
Sure.
is my yeah. So thank you everyone to joining the session.
Yeah, thank you, Harish.
So,
Thank you,
yeah.
Shaman.
So
Thank you.
anyone has any questions? So still you can connect with us. I'll share with you our numbers. Just a second.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I have one question regarding life insurance.
Yes.
I wanted to know how important it is for people to apply for that, to subscribe for life insurance of himself or herself and the family members.
Yeah. Actually, life insurance, the main purpose of life insurance to give the particular loss of the income. Suppose today I am working, I'm earning suppose a 1 lakh rupees. Okay.
Yeah. Huh.
Okay, I'm earning a 1 lakh rupees. So I have to calculate my human life value for next 30 years. Suppose if something happened, God forbid, to me, so what is the income which will require to my family?
Right.
So ideally, we will suggest 20 times of your annual income. You can take the term plan, which is the cheapest. You can take the life insurance.
20 times the salary.
So that's how we suggest to our clients. Because what happened, the way you have seen the inflation, the way you have seen the education cost, the way you have seen the hospitalization cost, which we have seen last 1 years.
Uh-huh.
So for that, we require such a corpus to cover up all these expenses if we are not there.
Right.
So that is why the insurance term plan is the cheapest option, which suppose today you are 25 at the age. Okay, so next 15 years till the time you will accumulate your corpus. So insurance give you the safety, and insurance also give you the peace of mind. So means something happened, you know that I have the particular set of the income which my family will get.
True.
Yeah. Right now, many people I have seen who have not taken the enough health insurance. In 3 years back, I have just shared with you my personal experience. In 2012, I have faced the accidental of my nose, you can see. So I have almost spent the 40 lakhs rupees in 2 years time.
Oh.
So after that, whenever somebody meet me, I usually tell at least you have the 50 lakhs rupees of insurance. You don't, if you go to the big hospitals, your expenses, your saving will be wiped out and you will become in debt trap.
Right. Correct.
So this is a very important concept for the people who are at the young age till the 30 or 35, because your cost of insurance will be the much lower. And right now, even the health insurance offer a 1 crore plan. So